What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about 24 different altcoins today. While I'm going over the list, the music is going to be playing in the background, so hopefully it's not too distracting. Hopefully it's enjoyable. I know a lot of you, most of you do like it, but there are some of you who don't like it, but we're going to have it playing while I go over the list, okay? So sit back, relax, and here comes the alien talk. All right, so we're going to talk about time for Hater, CUDOS for Joe KC, TRAC and AMP for Purple, Brick for Full Send, GLQ and Mint Layer for Healthcare FL, AIOZ for Crypto Investor, LINU and AVI for Slowkey, Step App for Maumetelyjevsky, ORN and Waves for Amar's Eve, COQ and Wojak for Mug Music, ETC for Brad C, PLI and XTC for Juan, PYR for Bailey Kimbo and PYR for Jordan Bailey, BBAI for Mark Balserzak, PNG for Eric Silva, VET for Astronaut Sailor, and S-Trump finishing it up for Bitcoin Busa. That's the order. That's the list we're doing it in. And yeah, we're going to get started on that now without dillying too much of the dally. We're going to get into it. So buckle up, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be a smooth ride. It's going to be good. All right, let's turn off the music and we'll get into it. So, make sure you guys can hear me and everything. Yes, you can. For some reason, I feel like I'm quiet right now. I don't know why, but maybe it's just me. This whole chart is very new, right? It came about in January of 2022, so it's a very, very new chart. You have an Adam look here and a bit of an Eve look here, which is kind of nice. It's not completely conventional, but you've got the V, you've got the U. It looks pretty nice. I will say it does look pretty nice. You're having positive reactions out of this with decent volume. Like to see it. Pretty overbought on the RSI, and now you're coming down. You might find a bounce here, or you might continue to drop out of the overbought zone. If you pull out of the overbought zone, look for continued consolidation for multiple weeks, maybe even multiple months. But if you can bounce here, if you can find a bounce at this area, that would look really nice. I mean, you could go lower this week even and still like close right around this price, like pull back up and close around this price. You did find a rejection at the 382, so pulling back to $26.67 shouldn't be worrisome at all. I think that's almost expected, seeing a rejection off of 382 and back down to your 236, and then inevitably I would expect you to go up to $73 to $88, somewhere in there. That's your next kind of target zone. So as far as what you're doing in the more immediate term, who knows? It could be a week, just move down and then move back up. It could be a couple months, a few months before you decide to move higher, but inevitably I do think you will move to $73 to $88 sooner than later. Oh, cool. ZRX is up apparently. This looks really nice. I'm actually, just the way that the daily's looking, I'm actually pretty convinced you might not go to your 236. Even though, yes, it's very common, I think you would have done it by now. I think you're looking to break this 382 soon. And when you do, when you break this level officially, you've wicked above it pretty far, but when you close above it on a daily basis, which is essentially at $39, when you can close above it, you're earmarked for $73 to $88 in a very short amount of time. So yeah, it looks good. It looks pretty good to me. If you move down, it's going to be by a little bit. I changed my mind. I don't think you're going to the 236. I think you're getting ready to move up higher. Yeah, looks good to me. So that's time, Hater. I know you've been requesting that for the past couple days. I went through my comments. For some reason, not all the comments show up. I have to go through like other means. I've explained this before, but not all the comments show up. And I have to go through like other means, like actually not using the media app, the YouTube Studio app that allows me to see my comments. I have to like go through, watch the video myself, and go onto the comments to see it so that I can reply to it. But I see that you requested this one like a day or two ago as well. Thank you for joining the Discord, because that definitely helps get around that YouTube issue. But if that ever happens to anybody, I want you guys to know I'm not ignoring you. I respond to every comment, whether you're talking smack, whether you have a good question, an average question, like whatever. I don't care. Like whether it's a good comment or a bad comment, I reply. Okay. If I'm not replying, that genuinely means I just didn't see it. And if I didn't see it, it's probably because YouTube messed up. Because I'm pretty thorough. I promise you guys, I'm pretty thorough. Anyways, that's time. Let's move on. Kudos. There will be a time where I won't be able to respond to every comment, but man, for now, I think I got it. Kudos. Yeah, we'll use it on KuCoin. That's fine with me. Okay, so looking at KuCoin here. Lower high, higher high, bearish divergence. You probably do want to move back down to here to about 1.4 cents. You probably do. You had a nice run, but you're probably moving back down there. Now, I will say this does look kind of like a 1, 2, 3 in ABC, right? Where you've got this. I would expect that this second leg here this second leg would be just as big as the first leg. That's kind of a common pattern, actually. And that would take you all the way up to about 5.5 cents, which is right up around at this high here. So I would say if you can flip this week green, I think you'd be fine, honestly, if you can flip this week green. But you've got 5 days left, 16.5% to the downside already. There's still hope. There is still hope. But at the moment, you're looking like you want to go to 1.4 cents. And inevitably, you're going to work your way up there to these prices and higher probably. But for the time being, I don't know, that daily RSI doesn't look good. Yeah, I want to say, I'm going to stick with it, what I said originally. You're probably moving down to about 1.4 cents, probably. So that's kudos in the more immediate term. Track, TRAC, Origin Trail. Looking like you want to move down, rejected the 50. Not a positive looking bullish, RSI. It's not a positive looking RSI at all. You might be doing this exact kind of move as you did before, right? It almost looks pretty similar, other than you didn't really get the rejections up here, but you are more or less moving in a straight line down. Look for support at that 123 moving average as it comes up over the days. You know, it might come down to about 84 cents or thereabouts. Let's see. If we look at this relative low to the relative high, 94.5 cents is where your 382 is. 81 cents is where your 0.5 is, and you probably go somewhere in between there, and 84 is right in that area. So I bet you do. You find support between the yellow and the green line. That's my expectation. Maybe directly on the green line even, at 81.18 cents. It is a previous high after all. You could check back, find support on previous resistance, and then move up, while also finding support on the 123 moving average. Yeah, that's my thoughts on track. Looks like it wants to move down regardless. AMP for purple here. AMP is looking resilient for sure. I don't mind the daily RSI. The weekly is very hot, yeah. Probably wants to cool off at some point. You could continue to move up higher in the more immediate terms, but that remains to be seen. Let's see how this week closes. Low or high to low here. I mean, it does look pretty good. I gotta say, it does look pretty good. You have the potential to go down to 0.0071 or 0.006 around there, but you also have a setup here where you're bouncing off your 100 after rejecting this area. You might move up to 1.88 cents or 2.75 cents. You might be doing that right now. It's just a matter of what breaks first. Are you going to break this gray line first, or are you going to break this slanted lower high line that you have in your price action? It's all dependent on that. The daily RSI, to me, it's not bearish. It could come down, but it's not bearish. I kind of like the daily RSI actually, but so it's not telling me enough really. The 4 hour also isn't really telling me enough either. It kind of looks good. I mean, I do like that bounce off the oversold zone, and you are bouncing off the 50 right now. We have 17 minutes left. You probably do close this candle green. Again, it's just a matter of, do you break this right here? Like, do you break that line, or do you break this line? Like, which one do you break first? And wicking above it doesn't count. I need you to at least close 2 4-hour periods above it. If you close it to the upside, okay, cool. You're probably going to 2.77 cents. I mean, at least to 1.89 cents or 88 cents or something like that. But you probably do work your way up to that 2.7 cent area. It's just a matter of which line breaks. That's really what it is, right? So until then, you are pattern bound. You might be rejecting now and then coming back down. I will say a flat base with descending highs doesn't look good, but you also have the potential for a double bottom. So this flat base is friendly if you can get continuation off of the double bottom. Because if it comes back down again, triple bottoms do happen, but I don't, especially in this kind of formation, I wouldn't rely on it. So let's look at the 1 hour. Maybe it's more telling. It looks good. The 1 hour looks fine. The 4 hour looks like it has potential to be fine. The daily looks good. Not enough for me to say bearish, but I'm also a little hesitant to be bullish right now with the markets acting the way they are. And with how hot you are on the RSI, being at a 96, almost a 97, that's no joke. So I would expect that you top out soon, but again, it's a pretty good look. It's a pretty good look coming back to your 100 level, finding support, and then moving up. That's not a bad look. So scratching my head on this one. Maybe it'd be worth talking about after we break out of this consolidation phase. Either we hit lower lows than this, or we break this lower high formation and get a higher high. It might be worth revisiting when that happens over the next few days or so. So that's AMP. Let's talk about brick. And I want to say something too. It's a little bit late in the video, but I want to say this. Somebody who I will leave nameless had their feelings hurt. They had their feelings hurt because they thought I canceled their comments, or that I canceled them. I don't know what that means, that I canceled them, but I don't cancel anybody. And even the hyenas and the jackals, the people that talk smack, I don't cancel or block anybody. I welcome all comments, and I definitely try to respond to every person's comments out there. This person felt upset, I think, because they requested some coins or something, and I may or may not have gotten to them. I don't know, but it sounded like I might have gotten to them, and I just didn't give them a shout out. I want you guys to know I give shout outs to the people who request the coins first. And how I do it is I go through the Discord, I go through the requests on the Discord, and then I go through the requests on YouTube. So if you're first to request something in the Discord, you get the shout out always. You get the shout out, okay? If nobody in the Discord requests it, then I go to YouTube, and if you're the first on YouTube to request something, you get the shout out. But if there's 2 or 3 people, which happens often, guys, I've got almost 5,000 subscribers. The odds of you requesting, multiples of you requesting all kinds of coins, the same coins, same stocks, whatever, it happens. I'm not leaving anybody out. It's not personal. It's just to keep the flow of things going. If I'm saying, I'm going through the list here and I'm saying time for hater, kudos for Joe KC, but really I have to say time for hater, time for person 2, time for, whatever. We're going to give a shout out to all 3. I'm talking more about the people than I am about like what we're actually here to talk about. So it's nothing personal. It's really to keep the flow of things going. I hate seeing people upset. I understand how sometimes you can get an idea of things and it doesn't go your way, but I hope you understand that if you are watching this, whoever you are, it's not personal, man. I don't mean it as like shade on you or like trying to ignore you or anything like that. I definitely don't cancel or restrict anybody's comments. That's not my style. If you guys have been watching the channel, you know how I am. I'm pretty laid back with most things. You can talk smack in my face, and I will talk smack back in your face, man. But I don't really care. There's nothing really anybody could say that would make me want to restrict their comments or anything like that, other than scams. If you're trying to scam people, if you start messing with the people who are watching this channel and you're setting them up for failure, okay, I will block you. But even the guy that the guy that he's a total joker and he's like, I counter trade this guy and I make tons of money, and he clearly doesn't, because if he counter traded me, man, he'd be losing money. I called for a bunch of things to go down yesterday, and we definitely tanked. So if he is counter trading, he hasn't been doing it for long because he's cleaned out now. But even someone like that who's trying to tarnish my reputation, like based on lies, literally, I don't, and it's literally lies. I don't block his comments. I will talk smack back. We go back and forth and talk smack. That's, I don't know. That's just my style. I'm getting hung up on this. I meant to say it in the beginning where I feel like it would have been more noticed. But anyways, let's move on to brick. Let's get over this. Again, I want everyone to know I give shout outs to the people that request it first. I go in order of Discord first and then YouTube, and that's it. That's it. It's nothing personal. I would give shout outs to everybody, but if I had to explain it, if I had to give shout outs to everybody or explain this every time, it messes with the flow of things. I'm trying to do this in a timely manner. I'm trying to give you guys what you want by doing the technical analysis in itself. I love interacting with the community, but that can only go so far before I lose my own mind and I lose sleep, right? I need to balance it to a certain degree where I can interact with you guys, and I really do try to. But man, I'll tell you, with 5,000 subscribers, it's not the easiest thing to keep track of everybody and respond to everybody. But I do respond to every comment every single day. So if I didn't respond to your comment, something's wrong with YouTube, or somebody might have reported your comment, or maybe you tried to post it and it didn't post. I don't know, but I definitely do try to respond to every person's comment, and I feel like I'm pretty good about that. So I'm not ignoring any of you, and I don't report anybody unless they're scammers, man. But let's get back to this. So looking at Brick here, I know, man, I know, went off on a off the deep end there. I think this is fine. We can use Kraken, yeah. So Brick having a decent week last week, up 147% with a lot of volume. That looks like the real deal, man. You're pulling back right now. What you did was you broke out, right? And you're back testing the previous areas of resistance for support. And you're pretty close to doing that. You might actually have already found your low. If not, you go a little bit lower. You could go as low as here, as like 8.9, essentially 9 cents. You could, and you're at 11.3 cents now. You could. But I'm under the impression that this could have been your low, or you're very, very close to it, like very, very, very close to it. So somewhere between here and 9 cents essentially is where you're going to find your low if you haven't already. Your daily RSI looks fine to me, man. Looks pretty damn bullish. You were really hot and you cooled way the hell off in a very short amount of time. Decent volume on the way down, but not a lot, right, in comparison to the way up. I think the 4 hour looks fine. The 4 hour to me does look like it wants to come down a little bit more. So if we base this off of this low here to this high here in this range, we could see, yeah, 10.3 cents, 9.6 cents, 9 cents itself at the 1886 right down there. You know, anything and everything in between. The 4 hour it looks good, but it does look like it wants to come down a little bit. Same thing with the 1 hour, yeah. And you're starting to break this area that you found support on. I think you do want to go down lower. So a little bit lower. Maybe you do go as low as 9 cents, or maybe you literally just drop a half cent from here. But then inevitably, I think you will continue to go higher. This is such a new chart. I can't really give a long-term analysis on it. But whenever you do find your low, wherever that is, we can revisit this chart top to bottom, find out where your extensions and your expected movements are. Because I very much doubt after a phase like this of just like long accumulation, it's not like super long, but for a few months there, and then a breakout like that with that immense volume, I doubt this is the end of it. I doubt this is, to me, this right here, this move is different than this move. It's different than this move. It's different than this move, okay? It all looks the same for now, but time will prove that invalid, right? I doubt you're going to do this. I doubt you're just going to do this, right? And then double top and then come back down. I doubt it's not going to provide more to the upside. I think it will, but for the time being, for the more immediate term, I think you probably pull back a little bit, yes. A little bit more. GLQ is the next one. GraphLink. Let's see here. Top to bottom. I like that bounce off the 886, man, and coming up like this. And now you're looking like you want to find support on your 1886, huh? That's it's not a bad look, man. I liked your daily RSI a lot. A lot of people, beginner traders, you know, and not throwing shade at beginner traders, but it's easy to get confused, right? Because this looks like bearish divergence, right? You've got like lower highs with these higher highs, and to a certain degree it is. You have this high here and a lower high here, a high here and a higher high there, but that divergence formed here, you've already pulled back below where that divergence formed. I would say that's fulfilled, and really if you look deeper into it, you've got a low here and a lower low, low, lower low, and what you have is a low and a higher low. That's hidden bullish divergence, actually. Stuff like this is meant to trip people up, because really, you look at this, you just look at this part and compare it to this part, and you think, oh, that's the top, it's going down. But really, if you look at the whole picture, you've been showing strength. This is the RSI, it's the Relative Strength Index. It's a tool, an indicator to show the relative strength of a chart of a coin in respects to its price action, right? And all this means, if you look at this and you say this looks bad, you're not reading it properly. This is good. This is showing strength. You're at the higher, you're in the overbought zone and staying above the 50. You are in the strong side of things. You're in the bullish areas of control. So this is actually a really good look, I'm not going to lie. And especially with how productive and constructive you've been throughout this whole price range, absolutely, I think you are going to go higher. I think you're going to go to this 2272 all the way up at 32 cents. You're at 15.68 cents essentially right now. You could move lower. I don't think you'll move too much lower than 13 cents though. If you were to move lower at all, you might not move lower at all. But let's look at this here. Let's look at the 4 hour. The 4 hour also presenting that hidden bullish divergence where you have a lower low, yet a higher low. You're getting those moves where it would look like you'd want to go down, and you're getting higher lows now, and you're not actually continuing down. But let's just see how the day closes. I would say, let's see how the day closes. I think it looks good, man. I stand by it. If you go lower, I doubt you go below 13 cents. Or like too much below 13 cents. Inevitably, I think you want to work up to prices that are more than 100% ahead of where you are now. So GLQ, looking good, looking pretty damn productive. Yeah, yep. I wonder if we take this all-time high to this low. I mean, maybe you go to 48 cents, man, 47 cents, who knows? This also looks to be respected to some degree, so yeah, who knows? Higher, definitely higher, substantially higher for GLQ. You're on your way. Mint layer. Hell of a run up, and now you're pulling back a little bit. Low to high. You're at your 236. You could find support here. It is possible, but let's just see real quick. Hold on. You found support on the 236 there and then continued higher. With how overbought you were for a sustained amount of time, and then you came out of it, found resistance on the overbought zone. Now you're below the 50. I'm expecting that you would go below the 236. You probably do pull back to your 382 area around 23 cents. You probably go just below 23 cents, potentially between 22 and 23 cents, or a little bit lower than that even. Find support down there and then continue to move up. It's a very common maneuver whenever you see strong moves, and this undeniably is a strong move. It's very common to pull back to your 382, find support in this area, and then continue up higher. So this is the weekly chart. Looking at it for what it's worth, it could be sometime in April that you bottom out, probably. And then maybe by the end of April, if not sometime in May, you'll start resuming your upside again. So anybody who wanted to buy down here and they just missed their chance, they were watching it go up, you're about to have a chance to buy at a serious discount. I mean, it's nowhere near where it was down here, but from the all-time high, the current high, that's a 77% drop or more. So yeah, I think you want to move down. I do. Yeah, the daily doesn't look good. The weekly doesn't. The weekly looks decent, but it looks like it wants to go lower. The daily definitely looks bad, and so does the 4 hour. I think you want to go lower, yes. You could find support here for a momentary bounce that promotes lower highs and false hope that this 236 is holding, but inevitably I do think you're going to that 23 cent area and probably just below that. So that's that. Let's talk about AIOZ. All right. Interesting looking 4 hour. Let me just make sure I'm using the right chart here. Yeah, that looks fine. Okay. If we had that, then you broke out. I mean, you didn't quite hit your measure move, but that's okay. Let's see, all-time high to low here. Hit the 1272. Of course, you found resistance there. Pretty decent resistance. You do have bearish divergence. It is not printed yet. It's not confirmed. It's presenting itself. You still have 4 days and 21 hours left, essentially 5 days left in this week. If you moved up 13.45% throughout the rest of this week, you move down that much in 2 days. Over 5 days, could you move up that much? I think you could. This bearish divergence look would go away. It's only there so long as this week is red, because if this week flips green, this will no longer be postured to the downside. It'll actually posture upwards, right? This part right here from this little crux at the top, it's moving. It's ever moving for the next 4 days and 21 hours, okay? So if this week flips green, that bearish divergence goes away. Now, if it closes red, we do have bearish divergence officially printed, which would tell me that you likely do go back to that 18-cent area. And here you are at 76.2 cents. It's a very hefty drop. Very, very hefty indeed. You could find support at higher prices. It is possible, but just going off of where this divergence formed, I would kind of expect that you do go down, I mean, at least below 38 cents, probably below 25 cents even. Let's look at the daily. I do like how you're hovering around the 1272. To be fair, you've only like rejected as of like 2 days ago, so let's see how you do with the next couple days. But you do have higher lows here in this consolidation phase while promoting lower lows. That is a good look. The 4-hour does not look bad. It actually looks very resilient. I'd like to see you move up. I'd like to see you close today on the green, because if you close today red, this could start to look like you are moving down. Because you are also, to be fair, you're also like at this bottom kind of the consolidation phase that you have. And generally speaking, whenever you see a move up and you consolidate to the upside, that's not a good look. That's normally not a good look. So there are good things and there are bad things. I would say let's see how today closes. Maybe revisit this one as well. I want to say you're probably going to come back down. The general expected thing after hitting your 1272, if you find resistance there, would be to come back down to this area. But being that your divergence formed all the way down here, I want to leave the door open for 17 to 18 cents being on the table, with a strong emphasis on that 25 cent to 37 cent area. Sizable drop, however you cut it though. It's definitely a sizable drop that's on its way. So come on now. Yeah, I don't know. The shorter term time frames, they're not giving me enough, honestly. I don't mind the daily time frames. It just wouldn't be crazy for you to pull back here. That's all I'm really trying to say. And you did get a slightly higher high with the closing high even, but dramatically less volume. That's not a good look too. So I am going to stand by it. You tipped your 1272. Unless you can close today green. If you close today red, and especially if you break this higher low structure that you have, you will likely pull back greater than 50% from the current price, let alone from the high itself. So that's AIOZ, not looking good in the more immediate terms, but inevitably I'm sure it does continue to grow. But look for it to provide opportunities over the coming weeks. A lot of these cryptos, you guys, when you hear people, myself included, whenever we talk about things consolidating for multiple months, or even several months, when we say like 2 months to 4 months, something like that, oftentimes they find the underlying assets, the cryptos, they find their bottoms halfway through that. So like if I was assuming that AIOZ is going to consolidate for 2 months, whatever that means, however it looks, consolidates for 2 months, maybe it goes down like this and then consolidates, whatever. It found its low in the first like 2 or 3 weeks, right? Maybe it consolidates for 2 months, but it finds its low a lot sooner than that. Oftentimes, if you expect a consolidation phase to last a certain amount of time, you'll find your bottom by the halfway point, if not more likely earlier. So opportunities, even though it might be some time before you do get constructive again and then move up, it might be some time, the opportunity to get in and prepare for that upside, it's coming sooner than you think, okay? It might not be exciting for a little bit, but if you get excited by good buying opportunities, then sure, in a very short amount of time, I think that's going to happen. But that's my best guess on AIOZ. Prove me wrong, get above that 1272, man. Close above that 1272. I would love to see that. You know, if I'm proven wrong on that, cool. You're going up to $1.70. You're going up to $3.50. You're at 78 cents now, so that'd be impressive. But I do think you're going to pull back, and it's going to be a sizable one at that. So that's AIOZ, Linu. All right, so it's not on this. We need Dex Screener. Linu, Luna Inu. There we go. On the 1 hour. Looking at the daily here with the broken RSI that says it was at 100, which doesn't make sense. Yes, you found resistance at your 1272 a couple times from this relative high to low here. Finding support on your 786, 886 area. That is very nice to see. Your daily RSI does not look encouraging, to be fair. Your 4 hour looks kind of encouraging. You do have like a flat base with descending highs, which that in itself is not encouraging. I kind of do think you move to your 618 area, which based off of these fibs would take you to about that's 6.725. You're at 7.012, so that's about a 50% drop from here as well. Yeah, probably happens. It probably does. It's a rejection off of your 50 on the daily. The 4 hour itself does look fine, but I don't like the price action. So, similar kind of aspect. You have this bullish divergence here, but it probably already fulfilled its duties, right? And now you're finding resistance on the 886 potentially. The next time you interact with the 786 area, I think you're going lower. So I'm going to stand by that. I think Linu has lower to go, probably a 50% drop or so. Best case scenario, let's see. Best case scenario, you hold 80815 or 808, somewhere in that area, but I do think you're going to that 8067 area. That's my thoughts on Linu. Let's talk about AVI now. Oop, AVI. AVI. All right, it's on Dex Screener. AVI. Aviator. So I've talked about this one before. If it ever has an RSI on it for Dex Screener, that means I've talked about it before. I don't remember talking about it, but that's okay. We talk about all kinds of coins, man, all kinds of stocks and everything. Relative high to low here on the weekly. Nice. It's been around for a little bit. First off, your RSI, I will say, you're dramatically overbought. You have been for a while. This is not sustainable, but who knows how long it goes on for, man. Just because I say it's not sustainable doesn't mean it can't maintain these incredibly high readings for the next 2 months. Who knows? Who knows what it looks like? Immaculate volume to finish off last week with very non-immaculate price action. So you probably are near your top. You probably are. Daily bearish divergence, and it is printed on there. That would be good for a move back to 0.0021. Yeah. You probably do. You probably pull back. I would think so. Let's look at the 4 hour. 4 hour looks like it wants to come down. It's somewhat neutral, but I think it's bearish, man. Yeah. Lower highs, flat base, kind of. I think you want to go lower, yeah. More immediate term down, and then who knows what it does afterwards. It might go up more. Maybe that's it for it. Who knows? You never know. But it's a very hot weekly RSI. I would assume something like this. What did it do? Let's see. From a low there to a high, going up essentially 177x from its relative low here. And I mean, in a very short amount of time, I suppose you went from like this low here, you went up 32x, okay? In a very, very short amount of time, you had immaculate growth, finished off with high volume. You're probably going to consolidate for months, 3 months, 4 months, 6 months. Months. You're going to consolidate for months. And that doesn't mean that the whole time you're going to be doing this for months. No. You're probably going to go down and then go up and then go down and then go up and then be boring and then go down and then go up and then be boring and then go down more. You know, like it's going to be a long drawn out phase of essentially just moving lower. So probably a good time to get out. Not financial advice, but probably a good time to look elsewhere if I was in this thing. It looks like a lot of people traded hands as far as their bags go. So people getting in at the top, people getting out at the top, you know. That's all I'm saying. So AVI looking like it wants to move down. Step app. Fitfi. All right, never heard of this one before. A very sad looking chart, but it came out in 2022 in the midst of the bear market, so of course it's going to be sad. Looking decent, relatively speaking. Do we have it on KuCoin? We have it on KuCoin. Okay, yeah, we use KuCoin. Decent volume. I don't mind the volume at all. Let's see. High to low. 1272 hit. You're down at your 16 or your 618 area. I would hope you find support here, which would implicate that you're at your low and you're looking to build higher. I mean, if not, this could be bad. This could be something that takes you below this low even, and you revert all the way back down to forming a higher low based off of this range, which would take you below this low. Looking at the daily RSI is not a good look, man. It's really not a good look. I don't like that. You don't have a lot of volume as you're pushing down, though, which I suppose isn't a bad thing in itself. 4 hour looks bad. Oh, it doesn't look good, man. I don't have a lot of hopes for this thing. Generally speaking, if you hit your expected extension area and you break through your golden ratio on the first pass back down, it's really not a good look. That would imply that you would see extensions based off of this move from low to high, which would be down at about 3.85 cents, 885 cents, right around in this area, right? I mean, if you dumped real quick all the way down kind of here, you'd have this like higher low still being held. Maybe don't go that low, but still, it's not a good look in my opinion. I don't like it. I hope I'm wrong, but I don't like it. That's FitBuy. It doesn't interest me at all. ORN, Orion Protocol. All right, so Coinbase might not be the best. Binance, okay, Binance is good. Nice look, man. I like it a lot. Yeah. Weekly RSI looks nice. You could come down a little bit lower and still be fine, I think. Let's see. Top to bottom. Yeah, maybe go down to about $2. You're at $2.17 now, so just a little bit lower. You could go as low as like $1.70, $1.50, and still be fine, but I don't think you do. I think you go to around $2 and hold that. You could go to $1.70. Okay, maybe. But that would be it. I think maybe not $1.50, but $1.70 could be it. Yeah, man. All right, I'm going to change my opinion one last time. I doubt you go here, but $1.37. Okay, $1.37 could be where you go at the lowest. You might be working your way instead of $1.70 maybe to $1.85, $1.80, something like that. And again, you could hold that $2 area as well. That's my thoughts. I think you move down for now. Daily RSI certainly suggests that. Price action looks like it's suggesting that. Yeah, I think you're moving down for now. So those are the price targets. Waves, man, for a Mars Eve, Waves. I love this one, man. I forgot about Waves. This is one of those coins last cycle that really did well for a while there. I haven't heard much talk about it though since last cycle. I mean, look at how just unstoppable you were, man. What was the growth here from this low point to that high point? I mean, dude, it's an 81x, and you were virtually unstoppable. Like this thing just, I remember, man, month after month, it was just tearing up the game. Nice accumulation phase, I'm not going to lie. It's not a bad accumulation phase at all. Let's look at the USDT pair. Looking like there's life in this thing, man. It might come to impress us again. Let's look at it on CoinGecko. Waves. Everybody. 322 million. Yeah, that's a low enough market cap to see phenomenal growth, especially for something that's been around for multiple cycles, right? Let me see. How long has it been around, actually? No, that's not what I meant to do. Come on now. since 2016. So it's been through a full, not a full, well, I guess a full bull cycle, a full bear cycle, 2 full bull cycles and 2 full bear cycles. Yeah, so something like this, and higher highs and higher lows throughout the whole thing. Something like this, you guys, could see new all-time highs. Absolutely. Something like this could achieve a market cap of over $100 billion. All right, putting that in perspective, at a $322 million market cap, a 10x would be 3.22 billion. 100x is 32 billion, right? So I mean, could this thing see 100x at $32 billion of a market cap for something that's been around since 2016 or earlier? A $32 billion market cap is absolutely achievable, man. This is nice. Amar's Eve. I like this request, man. I like this request. Honorable mention for Waves here. If it doesn't win tonight, this thing gets an honorable mention because it does look really nice. I like this accumulation phase. I like your little breakout. You're checking back at your breakout point at your 236. Common area to pull back on both accounts. Showing strength, looking good, man. I really like how you've held up. And especially looking at the all-time history chart, I'm even more jazzed on this. So hold on. Let's see where you could go before we get into the more immediate stuff. Oh, yeah. So I said 100x is possible, right? So definitely 186 is possible. $186, not 186x. Although that is also possible. Technically, a 200x could be achieved with this thing. Yeah, man. You could see 186 to 726 by the end of the cycle. You're at 322 right now. Yeah. This looks good, man. This looks good. If anybody's looking for a coin that could 100x, and it's more or less like a safe bet for whatever that is in crypto, right? Not financial advice. This might be one to put on your radar. It makes me want to scoop up a little bag of it, I'm not going to lie. Good choice. Might be the best one we've talked about so far in this video. And maybe there are other coins that we've talked about that will gain even more than this inevitably, but so far this is the one that's captivating me the most. And you guys know, if you've been watching these request videos day in and day out, you're like me, you're watching it to sift through the dirt. It's a lot of dirt. It's not like it never happens, but I don't normally take the time to be like, hey, look at this. This looks nice. But hey, look at this. It looks pretty nice, I'm not going to lie. More immediate term stuff. I would really love it if you held support here. I would very much love it if you held support here. If not, you could go lower. You might go down to about like 260. You're at 320 right now, 321.7. So you could go down a little bit lower, but it would just look so nice if you held support here, man. The RSI does not look good for that, in my opinion, but you are moving down with very low volume. Kind of reminds me of that one. I forget which one it was. Was it Linu or AVI? I don't remember which one it was. Maybe it was Step App. I don't remember. But where it looked like it wanted to go lower in the RSI, it even looks the same, but it had very low volume, which is kind of like one thing that might be decent. The 4 hour looks like it could be productive. It is in a bottoming zone for the 4 hour, but the daily to me looks like it would go lower. To be fair, okay, hold up, there might be hope. Look at that. Right? Okay, that's not where I thought it was. That says I thought it was down there. It's not where I thought it was. I was going to compare it to this low over here, and we continued to move up higher. Something maybe more similar to this low, and you moved up higher. I don't know. Looks like you don't respect your 52 too much, do you? You tipped it here, went below it here, disrespected the hell out of it. Yeah, so maybe it's not that big of a deal if you're below your 50. I don't know. You're also around your 40, which would be a key area to find support in as well. I don't know. I would like to see this thing hold this line. If you break below here, it's okay. It's not the end of the world. But again, you probably do drop to about $2.60. I'd really like to see this thing hold the line here, though. Yeah, man. Where was I? Why did I forget about waves? This thing is probably going to do well this cycle. I don't know. That's just my thoughts, but I'm going to say it holds the line here. And that's not just because I want it to. It's because you are at your 236. You did break out with decent volume of your accumulation range, and you're back testing it for support. We still have 4 days and 20 hours left in this week. We absolutely could find support here, so I'm going to go with that. And generally speaking, with the daily RSI, I wouldn't call for support here, but we're going to make an exception this time. I wonder what you're doing on your relative fib, low to high. Right at your 0.5. It's not common, man. It's not common, but it also comes in line with these previous resistance points. Again, your breakout zone. And that is common. I don't know, man. I think you want to move up higher. I think that might have been it. Might be preemptive to say that, because maybe you do go down here. But I don't know. We'll see. That's waves. That's waves. Calling for a low. Little COQ in you. Bottom to high. Looking like it wants to go lower. And guys, I said this before whenever I talked about Book of Memes the other day, and I had a couple people laugh at me, and then it dropped 50% the next day. Meme coins are probably out for now, okay? If you're looking to degen into meme coins to make back all the money that you've lost day trading, or money that you've missed out on missed opportunities on coins that you looked to get into but you just never did and they've pumped without you. If you're looking to degen into meme coins, that time has probably gone and passed us now, okay? There will be meme coins that continue to pump, okay? There will be. It happens. It happens. Or new ones that come out that pump for a day or two and then they dump and they're never seen again. I don't think this is that. I don't think COQ Inu is one of those coins that'll never be seen again. I'm sure it goes down a little bit more and then it goes up, but a little bit more from here relative to the chart is actually a lot percentage-wise, right? Like that's a 21% drop. Potentially, I mean, you could see a 50% drop from here. Absolutely, you could. But I'm looking after a strong move like this. I'd be looking for that 382 at about, what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is that 6 zeros? It's 5 zeros. 5 zeros, 2946, around there. That's my thoughts. Yeah, I think you go lower. Yeah, I think so. Looks like you want to go lower. Yep. Probably going to be boring for months. Like multiple months you're going to be boring. At least for several weeks, but multiple months. That's COQ. Let's talk now about Wojak. Wojak. Looks like the last time I was talking about this, maybe it was before we broke this line, and I was saying you need to hold this line, if not you're going down, or maybe I was saying we've broken this line, you probably continue to go down. Either way, looks like that line being broken was definitely not a good thing. I think you want to go lower, man. I think you do. It's not a good look for Wojak right now. You probably do pull back to your 382 all the way down at 4028, maybe even your 0.5 at 3032. I'm sorry, 4028 to 3028 to 303232. Somewhere in that area is what I would expect for Wojak. Yes, lower, and then up more. As far as meme coins go, Wojak looks like it might be at the end of its run for this downside, so might be one of the better ones in the more immediate term to get into. Maybe you hold support here and then you look to move up again. I don't know how it looks, but I do think you have a little bit lower to go from here. Yeah. I don't know. That's Wojak. ETC for Mr. Brad C. Let's see here. Moving down 12% this week already. Where are you? You could move lower and be fine. Yeah. $25. $25 to $26 is where you're going. Yeah. Pretty easy, that one. Yep. Looks like it wants to go lower. Yeah. I can go into more depth and details in this one if you want me to, man, but the 4-hour looks bad, the daily looks bad, the weekly looks ready to go lower as well, and fine if it does. The price can take a little bit lower price. You're at $27 now. Moving to $25.60 is not gonna break you. I don't think you pull back to the 61869. I don't even think you pull back to the 0.5, though. You could even pull back to about $22 and you'd still be fine. So lower from here in the more immediate terms. That's what I think, and then inevitably probably higher probably. It might be this week or next week that you find that low, and then the week after or the week after that, like it could be within the next 2 or 3 weeks that you start working your way up again. Okay, that's ETC. But for now, you're going down. Plug in Tether us. Low to high here, 61869 being held very well. 382 being rejected very well as well. I don't like the weekly RSI. I don't like the daily RSI. I don't like how many times you've interacted with the 618 and you haven't got a positive reaction out of it that was sustained. I'm going with the 786 as support at about 2.4 cents, if not the 886 at about 1.92 cents, about 1.95 cents. 1.95 to 2.4 cents, somewhere in that area. I'm looking for that 786 personally. Yeah. Lower for PLI. Sad, man. Very positive few weeks that you had there and just nothing since. It'll probably continue to move up afterwards, but for now you're going down. That's PLI. XDC. Another good one. Yeah. Oh my goodness, such a crazy week last week, man. I don't like the weekly RSI. I was starting to have hopes for this thing, and they've been tarnished. Those hopes have been tarnished. I think you might have several weeks or even months ahead of you of moving down and consolidating further. This right here, this little trend line that we were hoping you'd hold, didn't end up holding. You didn't end up breaking back above it. It might just be a nothing line, like who cares, but I do think you want to move lower. Daily RSI doesn't look too good right now. And the 4 hour looks sad as well. So yeah, lower, man. Where are you going to go? Come on now. Let me get it. There you go. Low to high. Again, probably the 786, 886 area. 3.73 cents to 3.33 cents. Somewhere around there. That's where you're going. And that's where you will find salvation. And then you will ascend from there. But for now, you are descending. That's XDC. Let's talk about PYR. Vulcan Forged. Accumulation phase of a lifetime, broke out, found support here, which was also where you found resistance in this accumulation range. That's a very bullish look. We're actually seeing a lot of the coins that we've been talking about so far on this video doing similar things or looking to do similar things, hopefully. I don't necessarily like the weekly RSI, but I don't mind it. I'd like you to hold this higher low structure, so don't get below that low. Really don't get below that 50. I don't like the daily RSI. It does say you could go a little bit lower, but with that little bit lower doesn't mean that the weekly RSI would look bad. It could, but I think it could sustain lower prices on the daily while being fine on the weekly. It's not a good look in itself either, man. Getting above the 618 and then crashing below it like that, I don't like that. I really don't like that. Generally speaking, again, you know, that, as I said, and I forget which coin it was, but you would look to find the 1272 here potentially. Oh, you haven't closed. You didn't wreck below that just yet. Maybe you find support at $6.13 to $5.70. But nonetheless, I'm not impressed by this move so far. I think you want to go lower. I do think you want to go lower. But we'll see. Time will tell. Yeah, I'm convinced you want to go lower, at least 613, if not 570. You're at 691 now. You very well could go to 430. You very well could, but that would be devastating, man. I don't think you do. I'm going to hold it. We're going to say 570 to 613. That's where you're going. PYR. Kimbo Slice. Bearish daily divergence a few times. Having a hard time with this one. All right, lower. 3 zeros, 360, 0.000360 is where I think you're going. If not, 3 zeros, 296, somewhere in that area. Yeah. Yep. Yes, lower. Definitely lower. I think so. All right, that's Kimbo. Easy peasy. BBAI. Now, Mark, you posted this comment, this request, on a crypto request video. So I'm assuming that you're talking about the crypto. Now, when I type in BBAI, there's this, which is Big Bear AI. There's also Bub AI, USDT. I'm assuming you're talking about the crypto. So if it's not that, just specify next time if you're talking about crypto or stocks. It helps. Guys, anytime you request something, if you can tell me if it's a crypto or a stock, that helps. But looking at this thing so far, I don't think it's worth talking about. This looks like garbage. It looks like garbage. And while everything else has been doing phenomenal, this very low liquidity, you can tell it's low liquidity by the way the chart looks, it's moved up 600%, which is nice, but for how long? For how many dollars? Was it like 5 cents up there? For, you know what I mean? Like, this kind of liquidity is not to be trusted, in my opinion. I would stay away from this. Doesn't look exciting to me at all. It has moved down recently. It is near its all-time lows technically, but I would just, it doesn't captivate me at all. I would not financial advice, but I would advise people to not buy that one. It doesn't look good. I'm not convinced that it will do anything impressive. It probably does move up from here. It probably does, but I hate it. I really don't like it. PNG, Pangolin, flat base, descending highs. Looking like you want to go lower, bro. Looking like you want to go lower. And it's a meme coin, right? Isn't it? Maybe it's not. I don't know. Pangolin. It sounds like a meme coin. Pangolin. It's a COVID meme coin. High to low here. Yeah, you probably go lower. 27 cents. You're at 35.4 cents now. 27.6 cents or lower. That's where I think you're going. Yeah. Yep, daily looks like it wants it. 4 hour looks like it wants it lower. Think you want to go lower. Yep. PNG, that's that. Let's talk about VeChain, and then we'll finish it up with Super Chump, and then that'll be the end of the video, man. VeChain looking a bit weak as well. Yeah, looking like you want to go lower. You are at an area where you could find support, but this daily candle does not look good so far. Let's look at it on a better chart. There we go. Yeah. A little bit lower, man. 3.44 cents. You're at 3.7 cents now. I bet you go a little bit lower. Form a lower low in your RSI right around your 50 where you could bounce perfectly. Lower low in the RSI, higher low in the price. Hidden bullish divergence in an uptrend that marks continuation where you would see a new high afterwards. So yeah, I think you go a little bit lower from here and then you move up higher. Probably. That's probably what happens. Let's see. High here to low here. It's not really anything, is it? That doesn't help either. So yeah, we're just going to stand by it. I think you go lower. 4 hour does not look impressive at all. Daily, again, does look like it would be at an area where you could bounce, but to me it would make sense if you went a little bit lower. That's not a bad, that's, yeah, you know, let's see, but I do. I think you go down to about 3.44 cents. You're at 3.76 cents right now, so that's that, VeChain. Now let's finish this up with Super Trump. Every time I talk about this coin, I feel like I get someone who requests it who hadn't seen the video. I've only made like 2, maybe this is the 3rd or 4th video that I've made about it, and it's fine. Request the same coins. I don't care, man. You guys in the comments will be like, I'm sorry if you've already talked about this one, but can I request? It's like, I don't, dude. You know how many coins and stocks I talk about day in and day out that are the same things? If you guys want to see them, okay, cool. If it comes to it where it's been boring, right, like it did with Compound the other week, and as soon as I put out that no more Compound videos, then it gets exciting, but to the downside. If it's boring and it's not worth talking about, I will say that, but it'll take a few videos of me to be convinced first. You guys, if you want me to talk about a coin, you don't have to apologize for it, you know. If I did talk about something literally the night before and I don't think anything exciting's happened, like I made a video within the last 12 hours and you're doing a request on it already, I'm going to assume you didn't see the video and I will send you a link in the comment section on YouTube to the video that has that. So, but I don't care, man. Request the same coins over and over and over again. If exciting things are going on, we'll continue to talk about it. If they're boring and they're not worth talking about, I will still talk about it at least once or twice, and then be like, hey, until something exciting happens, I'm not going to answer to requests on this coin. I've done it with a few coins, but most of the time, I feel like you guys are good about the requests, man. It's nothing to apologize for. Nothing to apologize for if it's something that you missed, or if I've done analysis on it before. Who cares? Like, I'm okay with doing it. Anyways, 2 million in volume, 18 days. I'm assuming this is the one. We're gonna go with this one. It's the most volume. Yep, and I've done analysis on it already, as we can see here. So I don't know what that was about. Oh, this is on a 4-hour. I think you want to go lower. But let's look at the RSI. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. I'm going to draw a different fib. I think you want to go lower. Oh, conflicting. I think you want to go lower. We're going to keep it with that. I think so. From here, you want to go lower. I don't know if you want to go lower than this low, but you might go back down to about 0.007, and here you are at 1 cent now, so about a 30% drop or so. At least a little bit more, Maybe you don't go all the way down to 0.007, but lower than you are now. I think you are going lower for the more immediate term. I don't know, maybe you hold 0.009, maybe you do hold that area, 9.3 even, maybe you only drop like 7%. I do think you want to work your way up higher. Yes, I do think that these political meme coins, especially as election season gets rolling in, I think that will potentially spark excitement in these coins. That's the thought. It doesn't really have to. It's more or less an idea that if it happens, it's because everybody participating in these meme coins just decided they became more valuable because it's election season, which sounds like it makes about as much sense as certain. I'm not going to say it, but it doesn't make much sense to me. But it does work. It does work. It does happen. So yeah, it probably does well. It probably does do well. I don't know how well it does. I don't know what the liquidity on something like this is. Let's see. I mean, $2 million in the last 24 hours. Yeah. If you're dealing with like regular money, you're probably fine. But if you're putting like tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands into this thing, you're not going to have an easy time buying at the price you want, and you're not going to have an easy time selling at the price you want. Like if you could have sold at the top here, let's say you had like $20,000 worth, you probably didn't get that full 20,000 out, even like from the opening or the closing point to the high, you probably didn't even get it out there. That's just my assumption. I don't know, I say that and it looks like there's a lot of volume there. 3.45 million. I don't know. Maybe I'm just talking smack. I don't think I am. Anyways, guys, that's all I got. Without a doubt, the winner today was Waves from Amar's Eve. Amar's Eve, good job. That was a killer request for sure. Not just an honorable mention, but one to consider, in my opinion. Definitely one to consider. So yeah, congrats on that. And hopefully it holds, because if not, then it might not go up. It might actually be stagnant like a lot of these other ones are going to be for a little while, and that's okay too. But still, I really do like the potential that it has going for it. But I might have to look more into that one first off. But anyways, that's all I got, guys. Hit that like button if you like the video. Subscribe if you want to see more. I very much appreciate all of you. Thank you for coming, and I will see you on the next one. Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.